In this video, we're going to take a look at how to navigate the Calvary Baptist Church website. So we'll get started by logging into the site by adding a /wp-admin to the end of your site's URL, which is calvarytilton.com, and this will bring up the login page. Now from here, you will enter the username and password that was created for you, then click Login, which will take you to the dashboard for your site. This is the dashboard that you will see every time you log in to your site. Now from here, I want to show you some of the various features which are currently in use or available to you for future use on your site and can be found mostly in the black column on the left side of your dashboard. Some of these features can be found on the top row of your dashboard as well. The first thing we're going to look at is the media library. Now the media library for your site is where you will find all of the images, audio or video files, and PDFs that have been uploaded to your site. Adding new media is as simple as hovering over the media option in the left-hand column of your dashboard, then clicking Add New. Once you've arrived on the upload screen, you can either drag and drop your media file into this box, or you can click Select Files here to locate the media on your device. Using this feature, it is possible to upload more than one file at a time to your site. Now this can be useful. Let's say you have a number of images from an event that your church hosted that you want to add throughout your site. This screen will allow you to do all of that at one time. Now back in the library, this allows you to see all of the files that have been uploaded to your site. Clicking on a media file will give you the opportunity to rename a file. You can edit an image by clicking on the Edit Image button. Let's say you want to crop out part of the image or rotate it. All of that can happen on this screen. Once you've made changes to the file, this Save button becomes clickable, so you'll want to save your work if you're happy with how it looks. If you've made changes and you're just not happy with how it turned out, clicking the Cancel button will take you back with no changes. Okay, you can also add captions if you want there to be a caption below the image as it appears throughout your site. All of that happens here in the media library. Now I want to spend a few minutes talking about how forms are used on your site. Forms can be found by clicking the Forms button on the left-hand side of your dashboard. Now from here, I want to show you how to make some simple changes to forms, as well as how to duplicate an existing form for future use. For training purposes, we'll take a look at your questions form. So to edit a form, just click on the form name, which will take you to the edit screen. From here, you can edit existing fields. Right now we have name, email, phone, a selection box where they identify the purpose of their contact, and then the opportunity to leave a message in the text box. Those are the things that are currently available on this form. You can add new fields. Let's say, for example, we want to add an address field. If we type in address here, there's an address option that then we would just drag over like that to appear on your form. Okay, all of these fields have the ability to be moved. If you don't like the order or things like that, you can also very easily delete a field by just clicking on this trash can icon. So we're going to delete the address field that we just added. Okay, all of that happens here. It's a very simple drag and drop kind of form field on this screen. Okay, once you've made changes, you want to be sure to save your work. Okay, so once you're happy with your form and you've saved it, you can also change your form's notification settings by hovering over the settings menu at the top of the screen and then clicking on notifications. Clicking on admin notification will allow you to add or update the email address that form responses are sent to. Currently, the responses for this form are being sent to this email address, so you could make a change to that. You could also add another address by just typing like that, adding a comment, and then typing the address that you want to add. So all of those changes happen under this settings menu here. Okay, clicking on the entries option at the top of the screen will allow you to view any submissions that have been made to each of your forms. So you can see here that the test submission that I made when we launched your site is the only submission that's gone through this form so far. But again, as your site is live for a little bit longer, you'll be able to see any entries on this screen. These entries can be exported if you want to save them for any reason off of your site by using this drop-down menu. You can mark them as read, unread. You can star them if you want to draw particular attention to a certain number of entries. All of that can happen here. To export the entries, like I said, you would just click on this Import Export option here on the left. And that allows you to select a form. We were looking at the questions form, and then you would select which fields you want to export. Typically, most people will export all of the fields, but again, you can select which ones you're interested in. You can also select a particular date range. So if you're only interested in contacts that were made maybe during a certain part of the year or something like that, that would all happen on this screen as well. Okay. I want to take you back to the form screen one more time and show you how to duplicate a form. So let's say that you really like the look of the questions form and you want to keep it in its current form, but you want to make some minor changes and put it in a different place on your site. You would do that by clicking this duplicate option here. And then that creates another version of this form. Then you can go into this form that you just created and make the changes that you're interested in without affecting this form and its placement on your site. Okay, it's a really great way to make minor changes to a form without duplicating the work of the entire form in the future. Okay, so now we'll move on to the Pages section of your dashboard. This is where you can access and edit your home page as well as any of your internal pages. Okay, you can also create new pages by clicking the New button here at the top of this page and then scrolling down to Page. Okay, we'll start by taking a look at your home page. So we'll go to the Pages screen. These are all of the pages currently available on your site, and we're going to look at your home page first. Okay, another way to get to your home page quickly is by hovering over your site name in the upper left-hand corner of your dashboard and then clicking Visit Site. Okay, so this is your home page that you're already familiar with. You'll see that your home page is broken up into sections. So you have your header here, your navigation menu, the kind of introduction slider, which is people's first glance at your site. We'll talk about the slider a little bit later in this video. You have this section which provides some key facts about your church and also an opportunity to watch your live stream, some announcements with buttons, some icons again with key facts about your site, and then the footer, which contains your map, your contact information, things like that. So when you go, one thing I want to mention before we move on is that the header and the footer of your site is consistent all throughout. So that those two areas will look the same across your site. Okay, now let's take a look at how to edit the home page. So to start, we'll click Edit Page at the top of your page. Now you'll notice that the edit page is similarly broken up into the same groups and sections that we just looked at on the front end of your site. Okay, so you'll see we have the slider, the join us this weekend, the watch and listen video section. Those are it's laid out the exact same way as you see on the front end, which hopefully makes it a little easier to identify which parts of the page you want to edit. Okay, so now that we've identified those different sections, I want to walk you through how to add a new page section on the home page. Okay, let's do that toward the bottom. So we're going to scroll down toward the bottom of the edit screen, and you'll see this button that says add content section, and then we're going to do just a standard page section. Okay, so this is the section that we're going to create. Now your site's introduction, along with any other section containing text or images, functions largely like a document in your typical word processing software. Anything within these sections can be tweaked to your liking. Okay, so let's say we want to create a call to action in our new section. Okay, so first we might include some text such as contact us today. Okay, now remember what I said, that your text size, your color, your boldness, etc. can be edited to your liking. All of that happens right here in the visual text editor. Okay, so let's turn our call to action into a button. Okay, so we've typed our text. We're going to highlight it and turn it into a button using this Formats drop-down menu. And we're going to click Button. Now we need that button to go somewhere. Okay, so we're going to click on this Insert Edit Link button, and then click on our options, and we're going to pick a page on our site that we want that button to connect to. Okay, it can be really any page. I'll pick the calendar for now, and then you'll click on Add Link. So now we've created a button that links to the calendar page on our site. Okay, again, this can all be tweaked to your liking, so you can have it linked to an external site that's not one of your pages. Whatever the case may be, all of that can happen here. Okay, let's say we want to center that button, so we'll click the alignment option there. We can bold our text if that's how we want it to appear visually. All of that happens right here. As we click through the different options here, you have the opportunity to add a background image, which is something you've seen probably across your site. Clicking this Add Image button just takes you directly to your media library, which we've already seen, and you can select an image there or add a new one. You can play around with the spacing if you want your new section that you've created to be tall or narrow, whatever the case may be. What you want the alignment to look like. You can animate the section. All of that happens on these various buttons here. Okay, really very easy to play around with. If you don't like what you've created, you just click Remove Layout, which is this button here, and we're going to remove it. And so now that new section that we created is gone. If you're happy with it and you want to take a look at it, you can click on Preview Changes, and it will take you to the front end of your site to give you an idea of what the change looks like without it actually being live. Nothing goes live on your site, none of your changes that you've made, until you click this blue Update button here. Okay, so you do have the opportunity to play around with it a bit, make some changes, and preview those changes before it goes live by clicking this Update button here. Okay, so none of the changes we've just made will appear on the front end. Okay, now while your site is pretty straightforward in nature, there may be a need for you to add additional features in the future in either your menu or maybe your header or your footer sections. So to edit your menu, you're going to go to the Appearance menu here on the left-hand side of your dashboard, and then click Menus. Okay, now this is the main menu, the navigation menu that you're familiar with on your homepage. And here you'll see the menu structure that currently exists on your site. So any changes that you make on this screen, once you've clicked the Save Menu button here, those changes then will be live on the front end of your site. Okay, so you can add pages. Let's say you have pages here that don't currently appear in your menu and you want to bring them live. You would just click one of the pages and then select Add to Menu. These can all be changed again with a simple drag and drop motion. Okay, so you can change the order. You can also, let's say we want the, let's say we want the calendar to fall under the leadership page. So we can move it up here and indent it like that. And if we save it, then on the front end, that calendar feature would then be part of the drop-down menu under leadership, okay? All of that happens here. So you can add, you can remove. If there's a page here that you don't want to remain on your menu, simply clicking on it and selecting the remove option will take it away from your menu. Very easy to make those changes here. Okay, you can reorder, like I said. You can add a link maybe just for a particular period of time. Let's say you want to highlight your Easter services or something like that, or a new event or sermon series, anything like that. All of that is very easy to do through this menu option, and then to take down when you're ready for it to come down. Okay, now your site's header and footer are edited through widgets, which are also found under the Appearance option on the left-hand side of your dashboard. Okay, your header includes, on this screen, your header includes everything that's in the header right box. So you'll see your logo there, and then the navigation menu as well. Okay, that's your header. And then your footer includes everything that's in this footer 1 widget area. So this includes your map that provides the directions to your church, and then this menu with contact links, your address, things like that. So making changes to your header and footer happens again underneath the Appearance option here. Okay, now I want to show you how to add a user to share access to your site. So to do this, you'll hover over the word users on the left-hand side of your dashboard and then click Add New. Now here you'll just add the username along with the email address of the new user. Both of those fields are required, and then create a password or use the one generated by WordPress. Now be careful here, you want to be sure to document the password so that your new user will be able to access the system the first time they log on. Once you click Add New User, then you're not able to see visually this password field any longer, and so be sure to document before you save the new user that you've created. To see a list of all users with access to your site, just click on All Users on the left-hand side of your dashboard. And this is also where you can edit the password of an existing user. So for example, if you have someone who has forgotten their password or something like that, you can reset their password using a link that comes from this screen here. Okay. Now the final plugin I want to show you is Slider Revolution, which we'll use to update the header slideshow currently displayed near the top of your homepage. You'll find Slider Revolution near the bottom of the left-hand side of your dashboard. Now from here, you'll see a lot of different things, but really what we're interested in is this slider, which is the one that's currently displaying on your homepage. And you can edit it by hovering over it and clicking the Show Slides button. Okay, you'll see that you currently have 3 slides in your slide rotation. Now let's say you want to add a new background image to the 3rd slide. To do that, you'll click on the slide itself, okay, to open the slide in the edit window. Now you will click the slide options feature, which is the 3rd menu option here on the right hand side of your screen. And then under the source heading here, you will open your media library to either add an existing image or upload a new image to your site. Okay, we're not going to make any changes to that right now, but just know that that's where that can happen. Now your slideshow displays the same text across each slide in what's called a global layer. This text can be edited by hovering over the slides menu near the top of the screen and then clicking on the global layers link. Okay, so now you see the text here that displays across each slide. If you simply click on it, that text can be edited in this box. Okay, if you're happy with your work, you can preview it here and save it here. We're not going to make any changes to your slideshow for now, but just know that that's where that takes place. You can also add a new slide by hovering over the slides menu, again at the top of the page, then click the duplicate option, which is this 3rd small button here on your final slide, and that will create a new slide at the end of your slideshow. Okay, so we went from having 3 slides to now having 4. Your new slide that you created is the 4th slide. Okay, right now, because this slide is a duplicate, it will have the same background as the slide that we just copied. Again, you can change that in the manner that I described earlier in this video. Now, you'll want to save your work once you've updated your slider. For now, we're going to delete the slide that we just created so that no changes will be made to your existing slideshow. Okay, so these are the basic steps for editing your site. As always, if you have any questions or run into any issues, we're happy to offer additional support as needed.